We're facing today are the youth, and I can assure you, most people think the only benefit now is becoming a mayor or a politician is where you can make money. And it's because of what you see on media here, on the Smart 24, what we see. The moment you guys go on Parliament, you go on you show the actual thing that's happening it's in Parliament, you show the kind of money that is being exchanged, which is very absurd. You show up the corruption that is very absurd. And what the youth now think is that's the quickest way of making money. Two, joining politics today is very expensive. Very, very expensive. You have to have a box of money. Then you begin, more or less, I'll call it bribing. Because if people would vote you for the merit of your capacity, engagement, soliciting for the common person and development of the people, that would have been the best. But if it's because of the money, then we're in problems. So our youth down there are very many. Every day a youth is being born. Government has come out to help. There's a youth livelihood, if you have to find out. They're here in the division. But the impact of beneficiaries, if you have to go on the actual beneficiaries, you see, it's really not, it hasn't made an impact as government wanted. And actually, this thing should have been, the political head should have been answerable. In Kampala Central, like here where I am, I must be answerable. I thought I should have been answerable if all those government programs that come, because I'm the supervisor, I should know who got, how he got, when he got, and what he did. But end of the day, you hear someone got, you don't know who it is. So that's why you see, they say eyes on, hands off. We should be eyes on, hands on, whereby I'm down to answer. If I misappropriate the money, I should be sent to the Zira immediately. Immediately. Because that's the only way we should come out to fight corruption. Corruption is killing us seriously. You see the roads we have in Uganda in particular. Forget about Kampala. In Uganda, they're the most expensive roads. Are you aware about that? What is this, gentlemen? Bulisawa, will you be okuyawula injawulo? We cannot behave like that. For me, number one is we have started skilling the youth. There's nothing for free. I want the youth to be skilled, whereby they can become entrepreneurs. That's the best way to go than asking government to give you jobs. There's no job that the government is going to give you. Be creative, be an entrepreneur, and start your business. Get skilled, because most of them don't want to get skilled. You should get skilled in a particular, either in carpentry, mechanics, in welding, or something. At least you have a skill into something, whereby that's the way to go.
The rate of Uganda's unemployment is worrying, by the way, if you're to look at that. But nevertheless, for you as an individual, you can still get chances or create those opportunities for yourself by investing. And investment has been made easier with Zabu. Zabu, a platform by Altex East Africa. You dial *292# if you're an MTN subscriber and you're ready to invest. Investment in the bonds and securities can only be through registering with your NIN, that is your national identification number, and then afterwards you'll be ready to invest in the next 24 hours. With a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings, investment is very easy with the Zabu platform. Zabu says, my money, my future. Altex East Africa says, do something new. The markets open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. These markets are only closed during weekends and public holidays, so you can invest in bonds and securities if you are a young person who is unemployed and looking for business opportunities that you will definitely use to change your life and how life is hitting you up. And that is it for investing and securing your future. Save for investment. Besides that, the World Cup is taking center stage in the month of November, and so GoTV says they are providing that particular platform for you. For you to watch all the 64 games live and in HD, you need to upgrade to GoTV Super at 39,000 Ugandan shillings if at all you already have the GoTV tenner. But if at all you do not have the GoTV decoder, how you do so is by buying one at 25,000 Ugandan shillings. It does come with one full month of GoTV value subscription. Then If you want to upgrade, you pay 39,000 to watch all the games live and in higher definition of the World Cup, as the World Cup is taking place in Qatar 2022. From the comfort of your home, you'll definitely be feeling like you are in Doha in Qatar, or experiencing those world-class facilities of stadiums in Qatar. Back to what we started with after the break in regards to unemployment, the mayor, Kampala Central, Uhuru, taking us through that situation whereby he encourages most of the politicians not to over-focus on the politics, but to focus on government projects to ensure that it's going to make it easier for Ugandans who are involved in the value chain of the economy to benefit. We have a number of unemployment cases in this country.
Quite very many, and most especially, of course, the youth, which make up the biggest percentage of the country. And, you know, I have this mentality that Africa, you know, okay, singling out Uganda, it's a virgin place, and it all comes back to how we're raised up, you know, because you can't realize that, Jerome, you witnessed with me, ever since you started school, the reason why your parents raised you up for you to perceive a world when you grow up, probably all you thought about is that I need to have these qualifications and I need to get this. And at the end of the day, when things don't work out like the way you expect them, you get frustrated. And for that reason, because you've been having this mentality that I have to get employment somewhere, I have to get employed by someone. But what about the aspect of we creating employment opportunities? That's why I say we are a virgin place. You know, virgin still full of opportunities. You know, whereby if I'm looking for these jobs, remember I'm not the only one doing this. There are quite so many other people, and that's why you find that majority of the youth have decided to run into their neglecting government projects, which could be of great benefit to their livelihoods. You know, and they are running into politics, you know. And why? Why do you think it's that way? It's because of they are frustrated, and somehow they feel like the only way out they can get a quick, you know. And you know the challenge we have is that we have this thing, this mentality of we want to be well at a very faster rate. I mean, not taking the steps to achieve the success that we need, and in that way, we find that unemployment has still really taken course in this country. You know, the mindset, the feelings we have towards approaching certain, you know, we fear to face certain entities simply because of we have this mentality, how will they see me do this? How will, you know, and it's all because of too much exposure to the westernization, because we think this is, you know, you want to look good, you want to look cool, and how can I do this? But you remember, the people you're looking up to actually are doing these very jobs that you are down looking at. You know, you can find somebody. I mean, he has a good home. Like we're talking about developed countries, he has a good home, but you know, he wakes up, he goes and does a job, and you can't even believe he can do that. Such kind of a job. You know, at the end of the day, what matters is what you bring on table.
Okay.
And I think also, at some extent, I'll say the system has also probably has favored it to be that way, simply because it seems to be favoring the political side of view. And I've been around so many people like, oh my God, I think I should become an MP, and I mean, I think I should do this. You know, I mean, there is that mentality that has taken up the generation regarding that, and that's why. And of course, not all will get these positions. They are for the few people, definitely. So let's talk about those ones that are left behind. What is their fate?
Oh, well, when you look at the situations here, I think it also brings us to the context of looking at the increasing number of Ugandans who always want to move out of the country, to go and seek for greener pastures. But at the end of the day now, we're hearing cases that Dubai no longer wants to accept Ugandans coming into the country, or moving into Dubai, denying them visas in there. Not only Uganda, by the way, even Nigeria. So this is a pinch to the African continent now, whereby we may all feel it later on in the time. We do not encourage people to move out of the country, but sometimes you get to realize if there is no job opportunity here and there is one available out of the country, and you will still earn something to create a future for yourself and your children as well, you get to realize that it's better to move out. But then such cases again are rising on a high the safety issue and security is also a big one to talk about here.
Well, security regarding to the Ugandans abroad, actually not only even in Dubai, there were cases in India. Ugandans actually, there are those that had gone to study, to work, and all of a sudden they are being arrested. I mean, there have been quite so many crimes right there regarding that aspect. So security, talking about that aspect of security, but also I'll say, okay, the first question is why are these Ugandans denied these visas to go and work that side? It comes back to what I started with when I was telling you that we grew up with a certain mindset, that whereby we can't contain frustration, because what really, some of the reasons that have been cited out as why the Ugandans are not are being denied those visas. First of all, criminal cases, cases of immorality, and all these come due to what? Desire for much more money, because probably they even feel like the employment where they are currently, it's not enough for them, so they end up doing some other extras in those countries, definitely, which is affecting their reputation. You see that, and it all comes back to how we are raised. The mindset. What mindset does somebody have? We want this quick thing that I have to be well good because I want to come up and prove a point, and that is bringing the trouble in there, even to the countries where we are running to get the greener pastures. There is a counteraction regarding that, so the effect is coming back. So I believe Uganda's problem may not be necessarily. Yes, I understand. Things are hard, things are hard. But then that's making the what I can call the regional corporations currently. Now, like lately, we are seeing the African Continental Free Trade Area, coming into place. And actually, I was reviewing somehow that one of the ways to make it much more efficient is through emphasizing the aspect of regional. Boosting like policies within regional. You see,
markets. Sometimes I also get to realize with the regional markets also, some of the other challenges we are facing is that some people are still worried about the fact that there are some trade barriers or visa restrictions by some of these particular governments, which has actually made it even worse and hard for trade to at least take place between the neighboring countries or across the borders. Because as we want as much to expect that these regional trade operations, or look at the African Continental Free Trade Area and COMESA, EAC, what we look at as opportunities provided by these is that we can easily have market. And with unemployment, if at all you have a skill with you and you can start up a business, we can curb unemployment by looking at looking through all these gaps. But then, unless these governments also work on this issue, on the barriers that are limiting other traders from neighboring countries to operate within their countries, then it will be difficult.
Well, I believe that's why we see summits. Investment summits.
And it's actually still ongoing as well, tapping into all those particular ones. Then recently there was the EU Africa delegation, Uganda EU delegation in Munyonyo. So most of these things actually to bring about creating investment opportunities, and of which once we have investment opportunities in this country, we highly expect job opportunities to come from them, and Ugandans will definitely be benefiting, because what the president does in most of the cases to our viewers when they bring in these investors is because they believe that with investors coming through, it is more easier for job opportunities to be created through these industries or through any business that comes in. So university students who have the qualifications, even those who do not have qualifications through universities, also have available jobs in most of the industries.
Exactly. Yeah, this is very, very important. And you see, when the industrialization comes in, it will make it, like, remember, when one sector develops, it enables another sector to grow. There is that interdependency. I'm looking at now, talking about industries, we see students going to colleges to pursue courses in line of that course. So it will all make it very sensible, because at the end of the day, maybe another challenge I've been seeing in Uganda, which we have, is that we don't really take diligence to understand the thing we are getting into. You know, like the aspect of grooming somebody. Yes, the industries are here, but the people working in there need to be trained appropriately to execute those duties, lest they abuse the investment.
And well, of course, sometimes you get to realize that we have politicians who move to parliament to raise voices for the underprivileged or for the voiceless at the end of the day, because we do expect most people to be benefiting from these particular voices. If your member of parliament, your regional member of parliament, or your constituency member of parliament does not represent your voice before other members, then you get to realize that you're being used, or you're not benefiting from your vote. You cast a vote to ensure that this particular person represents your voice and all that. But sometimes it's difficult to experience it. So according to the mayor, Kampala Central, he was saying that sometimes the level of unemployment also takes us back to politicians who are greedy, who are too much into the politics, instead of playing the cards right to ensure that the low-income Ugandan or low-income earner in the country is going to at least have a say or have a very huge advantage with the fact that they have people who speak on their behalf.
And I also urge those different politicians to always take initiative to carry out supervision roles in their constituencies, because I believe a lot of people in those places, youths, come up with so many projects, and all they need, that, like what you said, that voice. At least if you can't represent the underprivileged, the entire country, at least first start with your constituency. It will make much more sense.
Yes, it does. And of course, as you're still watching Smart 24 TV, this is Smart Means Business, and it's Friday. Well, being a Friday, after the break we shall be looking at the top topics and stories that have been making headlines in the show that you've been seeing us airing here, just to analyze a few of them, taking you back a little bit to at least understand how business has been moving and trending across the country and also across the borders of this particular motherland of ours. But also, as we move further to give you more business updates, please do follow us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter at Smart24TV. We are on Instagram at Smart24_TV. Facebook is Smart24TV Official, and then our YouTube channel is Smart24TV Live. Now, the live, you can as well subscribe, as we are streaming as well. And of course, also LinkedIn, you can find us there. Do find us on mainstream, GoTV channel 394, DSTV is channel 372. We drive your business on a daily. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko here with Barija Andrew, taking you through Smart Means Business today, Friday. It's still cold, but the opportunities for you are quite many. And at the time when it is really cold, the temperatures were really hot at the start of the week. And I believe everyone did complain about that. But now we shouldn't be complaining a lot about the rain, because maybe we needed something to make the weather a bit warm or cool for all of us. And so has the rain provided the answer. Stick around. After the break, we have more of the discussions to do with the SMB weekly topics. Good morning.